Story 1. Am I the a-hole for purposefully stopping my classmate from winning an award and subsequently making her cry? This issue is honestly making me frustrated. Almost everyone is saying I am in the wrong. People are talking behind my back, and I genuinely don't know if what I did was correct or not. I just feel so lost. Please do help. I am 17 and suffered a major accident while cycling when I was 13. I have 2 really deep, long facial scars. I've been bullied really bad because of it. I'm tall, ugly, and intimidating as per most girls. People make fun of other people by saying things like, "Why don't you just hook up with /throw away for 2K19? I'm honestly used to it. Those people don't matter to me anyway, but there's this girl I had known since middle school. Let's call her Back, I guess? Sorry, I honestly don't know how this works. I had a really big crush on her till a few days ago. I thought she was genuinely sweet and amazing. My family is incredibly supportive, so they urged me to ask her out. I can play a guitar, so I made this whole song for her. I went to the neighboring city to get her favorite chocolate and stuff like that. This was the first time I felt like really going and asking someone out in my life, and I felt that regardless of what I do, she shall see me for who I am and at least accept me as a friend. I was over the moon when she ended up accepting. We went to a fancy restaurant, had a fun time together, and walked for 30 minutes. She was really sweet to me. The next week or so was honestly heaven. People started noticing me, even her friends seemed friendly with me. I honestly cried every day because I felt so fortunate to get so much love. It all broke down when a friend of hers who was on Instagram and followed Beck sent screenshots to me. I honestly felt betrayed and disgusted. She had posts saying, fulfilled his lifelong wish by being his Valentine's, making his day by finally helping him interact with my friends. He is ugly, but beautiful people accept ugly people. #ugly people matter, etc. Beck's friend then explained to me that she apparently wanted a good social media image and had thus asked all her friends to be kind to me and tolerate me till the first week of March and then distance themselves from me. She apparently wanted to win some stupid positive role model award for her college application because she was lagging behind in community service, and thought playing with my feelings for a few days wouldn't hurt, and apparently since I was ugly, she was the kind one to give me attention anyway. I was in tears and honestly felt disgusted. My blood was boiling. I reached around this award, found a Facebook page about it online. I went to the authorities to confirm if her name was on the nominations list, and then had my friends at work and family as alibi. She's apparently crying a lot because she received a message from the committee saying her nomination was withdrawn. I'm now even more ostracized in school, but honestly, I have no remorse whatsoever and feel far from satisfied. Edit. I'm honestly really grateful for not only judging me, not in that way, but also giving me love and support. Each comment means the world to me. I'm honestly crying reading some of the encouragement. No one besides my family has said these things to me. I know it might seem silly, but it genuinely means the world to me, guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Edit 2. Honestly, the support is genuinely overwhelming. I promise to not let you down and to continue being a good person. Thank you for the gold. Thank you all so much for the private messages you sent me. I honestly have gone through as many as I can, and I just feel really fortunate and grateful. I sincerely hope you all have an amazing life ahead. Thank you so much. This has been one of the highlights of my year. Edit 3. I'm sorry for boring you with all these edits. I genuinely can't thank you guys enough. I showed my parents these posts and they had tears of joy too. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you guys. Loads of love. But I have been noticing a worrying number of DMs saying to me I could have used her body and had some fun after knowing the truth. I am not this kind of person and hope nobody is. I have my own integrity. It's not right to just forcefully have intercourse with her. That's appalling. A couple of other DMs sent me links to secret webcams to expose her nudes, etc. It's honestly horrifying. I am not that kind of person and shall never ever be one. I just want to make the world a better place and the people around me happy. I thank these people for their support, but their way to go around it is very wrong. A lot of women are amazing. My mother is amazing, the person who sent the screenshots is amazing, my coworkers are amazing, and I am sure many women out there are amazing. Please don't tell me to take the red pill or anything of that sort, because I'm not going to do that ever. Please don't say all women are manipulative, etc. This post isn't anti-women in any way. It's me talking about the person I believe wronged me. Boy, this story starts off just making me about as mad could be, and then became such a wonderful positive message. Seriously, huge props and applause to the poster of this, because A, I don't care what scars you have. You're a beautiful person. You deserve love and acceptance and friends, and not people just using you for clout. They are the people who are ugly on the inside, and they need to get help and get better. And I am glad that you also have this very positive attitude about things and realize that just because one woman did this, that not all women are like this. Just as if some men do stuff, it doesn't mean people are people, individuals are individuals. And I am very happy to hear that you still have such positive things to say after such a negative experience. And I think everything in the way that you handled it was right. You didn't try and plot some sinister revenge. You just revealed her for what she was doing, and hopefully she'll learn a lesson about life and herself. Story 2. You absolutely have to let my underage teenager into your room party full of grown gay men. Now, there are a ton of fun activities that attendees can partake in, and most of the panels and activities listed on the official program are totally appropriate for family and kids. That being said, like any other type of geeky convention, people will hold room parties in their hotel rooms or suites that are not part of the official program and are not the responsibility of the convention itself. Very often, those room parties will either be gatherings of friends, or sometimes they'll just be centered around certain social groups. For example, there are furries of color parties now and trans room parties, and sometimes, well, there will be parties of the more intimate kind, you know what I mean? Sometimes, to attract a certain crowd, especially at these social group parties, they will advertise the room party on a board near the hotel lobby to advertise the party's room number for those who might be interested to attend. Anyway, those parties are obviously private functions, and obviously the person who is paying for the suite/room has a complete liberty of choosing who is allowed inside and who is not, especially if they are just a gathering between friends. Flash forward to Saturday evening. This is generally the biggest evening in the convention in terms of official events and room parties. My friend is hosting a room party for gay men in his suite. The attendees are all legal adults, the majority of them in their late 20s, early 30s. Nothing too risque is going on, but it's a bunch of gay men together in a group, so colorful discussions and a bit of flirting and groping is happening from time to time. I mean, duh. At some point early in the evening, they hear a knock at the door. Friend goes to the door and slightly opens it to see a kid no older than 15 or 16 standing outside the door. Hi, can I help you? Can I come in? Friend, a slight giggle. No, this is a private party. It's not part of the convention, sorry. My friend then closes the door and returns to entertaining his guests. About 15 minutes later, another knock at the door. This time, my friend's roommate goes to answer the door and finds the same kid standing there, and this time he has his father with him. Friend's roommate, yes? Entitled dad, yes, my son came here earlier and was refused to be let in. Well, yes, but is there a specific reason why my son can't attend this event? At this point, my friend intervenes. Friend, sir, this is a room party. It's not part of the official program. Plus, your son is a minor, and everyone here is a grown man in their 30s. This would be extremely inappropriate. Entitled dad, don't give me that. We paid full price for an attendance pass. I expect my son to be able to enjoy this convention to its fullest. Friend, but that's what I'm telling you. This isn't covered by the convention ticket. This has nothing to do with, but this party was advertised downstairs in the lobby. The board downstairs will advertise a lot of private room parties. It's a convention thing. People will organize gathering amongst friends and social groups because they're all gathered in the same spot for the weekend. That doesn't mean it has anything to do with the convention proper. Now, please, can you leave? We've told you more than once that your son is not welcome here. My friend at this point hushes the entitled dad and his kid out and closes the door. At this point, everybody thinks the story is over, but entitled parents being petty, it isn't. At around 11:30 p.m., a much stronger knock is heard at the door. My friend goes to open the door and is met with hotel security and a Rosemont PD officer. Friend, what's going on? Hotel security. Sir, we've got a report of illegal activity taking place in this room. We'd just like to do a quick checkup. My friend is flabbergasted, but lets the cop and security personnel in. Of course, they find absolutely nothing weird is going on. Friend, Can I at least know what this was about? This is very distressing. Hotel security. A man came to us earlier and said that your party guests were doing drugs and committing acts of gross indecency by being intimately inappropriate where other people could see them. My friend then realizes it was more than likely entitled dad and tells hotel security about how that entitled dad tried to force the party attendees to let his minor son attend a room party full of grown adult males and how they had told them to leave repeatedly. Hotel security apologized, and my friend got a partial refund on his room to make up for the intrusion, and no more problems happened from then on. He doesn't know if anything happened to the man and his kid. Okay, I understand, like, a 15 to 16-year-old teenager wanting to attend. Like, they're like, oh, it's a party of adults. That's really cool. And maybe the kid thought they could do some drinking. Maybe they were exploring their, sexuality. Like, maybe they were like, I'm gay. I want to fit in with the community. But why can't they just let me in? I'm so close to being an adult or something like that. I can get maybe where they're coming from. But for the parents to be told what's going on and still be like, how dare you? My son has paid to attend. It's like, this is a room full of adults. It's not appropriate to have a minor in here. How can a parent then go on to be like, no, let my child in? It's not just entitled. It's like bad parenting. That's really concerning. Like, hey, dad, could you not look in there? Then look to your son and be like, yeah, you're not going to that party. Clearly, this is an adult thing. Why do you think you should get to go to this? What is wrong with you, entitled dad? Story 3. Entitled mom thinks she owns her daughter's dorm room and can control who comes in. I used to work as a desk assistant in a dorm room building for my university. Basically, my job was to help if a student locked their key inside or wanted to put a work order in. One day, I just sat down for the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. shift and saw a very peed-off middle-aged Karen approaching me. I knew it was a family weekend, and that's why she was probably there, but I didn't know what would come next. Also, if anyone ever stayed in a dorm room, you know they are not large, usually. Entitled mom, or EM entitled mom, me, D, poor daughter, H, husband. Can you help me? Can you help? Maybe what seems to be the issue. Me and my husband are trying to sleep, and our daughter's roommate is up, and her roommate's boyfriend stopped by and left his shoes on the floor. Me thinking, why the hell didn't you get a hotel? Well, ma'am, half of the room belongs to her roommate. I can't stop them from being awake at 8 p.m. I can't even leave this desk. Well, you need to get someone here right now that can fix this. Her roommate knew we were staying, so we need that room. Her roommate has the right to be there and is under no obligation to leave. If anything, she's being nice by not complaining that you're taking up her space. Daughter enters crying. Mom, stop and come outside right now. I told you wouldn't like this and you didn't listen and now you're ruining this visit. They both go outside. Husband enters. Please tell me I'm not the only one whose wife did this. Of course I am. And mutters about how they should have gotten a hotel as he goes outside. In short, mom thought she could kick her roommate out of the dorm so she and her husband could use it as their personal hotel. I feel sorry for everyone but the mom. Actually, being in that room must have been hell, and I still wonder to this day where she wanted that guy to put his shoes other than the floor. Boy, oh boy, the only thing worse than getting a bad roommate in college is having a roommate with awful entitled parents, or at least one awful entitled parent. Can you imagine being that roommate? For the rest of that year after the parents were gone, I would always look at that daughter and be like, your parents better never come back. I hate what you put me through. And parents, when your kids get a dorm and they go off to college, let them be autonomous people. Just leave them alone. Don't stay in their dorm room, which are usually barely big enough for the two people that are typically sharing it. When you're staying in your kid's room like that, you're going to embarrass your child for months. So many people are going to be talking about how weird that was. You're not doing your kid any favors at all. I don't care how much you miss your child. Grow up. Just don't do that. I feel sick. Story 4. Divorce me while I am sick? That's fine. Enjoy being single. Douche was a douche for a number of reasons. He worked with my dad in IT, who said he had a hero complex where he would cause disasters at work and then try to be the hero and save the day. We even suspect he caused a huge IT disaster at our national airport while he was working there. He was also really creepy. He creeped on my younger sister, calling her randomly and asking to pick her up. He was the exact opposite of his wife, who was lovely and sweet and charismatic, and I have no idea how they ended up together. Unfortunately, a while after we made friends with him, Heidi got very sick. Her colon stopped working. She almost died. Thankfully, she was in a country with stellar healthcare, which saved her life, but she found out that she has Crohn's disease and she has to get a colostomy bag. While she was recovering from her surgery, Douche announced he wanted to divorce. His words were, and I quote, "I didn't marry a sick woman. Effing prick." He left her high and dry and very soon was seeing someone else. He lost all the friends he had made in our country with his awful behavior. My family told him he was no longer welcome near us as we were there for Heidi. He finally effed off back to Israel. Apparently, he had got into quite a bit of debt while in my country and skipped off to avoid paying. Good riddance, we all said. Heidi found her feet eventually, took up photography, and went to university to study it. She did very well for herself and lived a happy life free from Douche. After about a year, Douche contacted Heidi and she told us all about it. Apparently, he was trying to sweet-talk her into going over to Israel to go through with the divorce proceedings. According to Heidi, your marital status is on your identity card in Israel, and it's one of the first thing a girl asks to see when you go on a date. When the girls saw he was married on his card, they'd never go for a second date. So every time he'd call her asking when she was coming over, she'd put a huge crap-eating grin on and reply, "Well, I don't know, I'm not really in a position to fly with my condition and all. Maybe when I get better." She knew full well he wouldn't set foot back here because his creditors were still looking for their money back. She would just relish in the knowledge that he was getting rejected by all those women he was pursuing in Israel while she chilled with us having a great time. Heidi's doing much better now. She went back to Germany, though still visits my family and her friends from time to time. She's still her awesome self. I don't know what Douche is up to now, but I suspect after all these years, he's still a douche. For someone to utter the words, "I didn't marry a sick woman," that's all I have to hear about someone to know that they're a bad person. Like, usually, you can't judge someone based on just one sentence that they've uttered. You know, you need a bigger picture, like, oh, maybe there's context, maybe this or that. But if a husband says, "I didn't marry a sick woman," as he's divorcing someone who's going through some medical problems, you're just a bad person. You're just awful. Like, anytime that he would, make friends, I would go up to them and be like, "Hey, by the way, do you know what he said to his wife when he tried to divorce her? I didn't marry a sick woman." And their friends would go, "We're not friends anymore, Daryl." I'm sorry. That's so disgusting. Good for Heidi getting back on her feet, going to college for photography. That's so cool. I love photography stuff. So that's awesome. Heidi, you deserve way better. I hope you're living your best life. And I hope Douche I hope he's miserable and alone, but learning some lessons and hopefully becoming a better person, maybe deserving of something. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.